All right, so this is the test rig for our chicken door that we just printed. It's a little tight right now. The motor's not too back drivable, and it's got a little bit of slop right now that I'm trying to fix. So I'm 3D printing something to help fix some of this slop that I actually have in the door. And I know it's not from the motor itself. It's something to do with these two linkages. So I'm printing a different piece with a different orientation. This is going to be a little further down to give us a little more leverage, because we're already using the same leverage here. We're really just screwing ourselves by bringing it back this way, the way that this works. So we're just going to turn it into a 90. And I don't think I'll have to reprint this. I might, but using these holes that we already have with these pieces here, I think I can just reprint this piece and make this arm shorter. And so we're going to try that out. But I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to plug this guy in. Sorry, don't have a camera person. Let's see if I can find the power. All right, so it's powered up. Got a little screen quickly made so that we can connect to Wi-Fi and check the time. Let's see if that does that. Ooh, it's taking a long time. Sync time. Taking last thing. All right, there we go. We got time. It's a little slower than normal. So I'm just going to try to open the door. And I'm going to show you what happens when I press open. And this is what we're trying to fix. Something's getting in a bind there. Right? It just popped open. And I can reset home and open again. Right? And it works once it's open. But we're going to have some issues moving forward with this guy getting in a bind. And you can tell that it kind of gets in a bind when I have anything in the way at the bottom. So we're going to have to improve some clearances here around the door outside. This is a test frame. It's a little smaller than the one I have outside. And so I have some room to bring this up. And this frame is a little wider than the one I have outside, so I can actually move this motor back as well to give myself a little bit more, I guess, play if anything does bind up. But just trying to work through some of the issues here. I've had some issues with the code as far as maybe having too much going on at once for this MCU to be able to do. I've had this in the past with other projects, but I'm asking it to do too much in the way that I'm doing it. So I'll actually go over through some of this when I do a video on the code. I'm going to try to do a complete video on all 1,500 lines of code that I'm using to make this work. And that goes between this ultrasonic sensor, controlling this motor that's driven by this driver here, and just reading the sensor. It's really not controlling the sensor so much, but we're sending signals and getting signals back. Outside of that, most of this is just power distribution. We're really not doing anything else other than controlling the door and connecting to Wi-Fi for time and controlling the door based on that time that we got. And that's basically the whole project. This could all be done on a really small PCB and just kind of housed in the back of the screen to make this thing simple. But I had all this stuff just sitting in a box ready to be used. It's perfect. I didn't have to buy a single thing for this project, not even filament. I was using filament that I already had, so everything included in this entire project was stuff that I'm reusing from prior projects, and that was kind of the purpose of this. That's partially why things look a little messy, but there's nothing back here other than these wires connecting to this, and then a USB cord that is routed from our 5-volt bus, and I have a little 2-amp fuse going to that as well. But that's all it does. This 2-amp fuse powers here. I have I think a 1/2-amp fuse going to our 5-volt power for our ultrasound sensor. And then I don't have this driver fused at all because there's a 5-amp max output. Actually, I don't even worry about that. This is 12 volt. I don't even have, 2.5 total 12 volts coming in, something like that. So I'm not super concerned about this being fused. If anything, the motor might be starved for power. I don't think it is based on what I'm getting out of this door itself, but I currently have it in like quarter step mode and it's working just fine. I could put it in half step mode, but it may be a little weak with the wind, you know. I'm still thinking about things like that. But outside of that, this project's fairly simple. I'm going to try to actually reduce the code length before I really talk about it. And then I'm going to consider putting an electromagnet right here in this door that I turn on with a relay. And so it'll literally just shoot something into this little locking hole that I have here and then pull it out when it's time to open the door, etc. And so I need to get just about everything right before I do that. And that could be done with the servo as well, but I want to build a magnet. So that's pretty much the whole project. There's some things I might have to fix once I actually get this outside. I'm probably going to go ahead and grease this gearbox and maybe even replace the gears before I put it outside. But outside of that, I'm pretty happy with how things are moving forward. It's taken about 2 weeks for the entire build and code so far. But yeah, cool.